Hello, guys and gals. So today I decided that we were going to discuss my impressions, my thoughts, I guess is my review of the Sony PlayStation Vita handheld. I don't even know what it is, a console. It's a handheld. So a while ago I made one for the 3DS. I figured that it was long overdue to make one for my Vita. I actually got my PlayStation Vita in a Batman bundle on Black Friday back in November for about like $200. I got it for like $199.99. And the reason why I didn't discuss this was because I was having money issues at the time, so I was actually contemplating if I was going to return this or not. So I'm actually happy I kept it. I was pretty upset during that time regarding whether or not I had to get rid of it. And let me tell you, this is a very very underrated system. I realize with things going on right now, currently it's not selling that great, and they're not advertising it all that well. So I understand those kinds of complaints, but as far as games go and stuff, the quality level is pretty damn awesome. So let's get to the basics of this thing. I'm gonna turn it on too. We'll talk about that. So obviously this console generation is pretty big on touch. The 3DS has got the touch since the DS days. And now even just regular old other household items like even like iTouch and all that stuff. Even though I'm not really keen on calling that a gaming thing. Again, there are games on there, and that's touch also. So it should be no surprise to you that this is basically big on the touch stuff as well. You could touch on the front, you could touch on the back. You can actually take the back and you can set them. There's like a piece of dust that was just hanging there. You can actually set buttons to the back of this thing as if you had a R2 and L2 triggers. Pretty cool. I think that's neat, actually. And there's also grips on the back. There's a camera which takes a decent picture. If I had to take a guess, a couple megapixels or something. If I had to take a guess again. The volume's up here. I don't know if I'm gonna walk over, talk about that. It's the back. Front, nice analog sticks. I love the analog sticks. Honestly, I don't know if I ever discussed one of my problems with the 3DS is that my thumb keeps sliding off the thing. I'd like it to be extended, and this is like for me perfect because my finger's not sliding off the damn thing. The only time it is when the game's getting really grueling. And, all kinds of stuff going on here. And then what's really interesting is, with the PSP, you had those disc things that would go, and you'd think, oh, shit, am I breaking my handheld? Well, this is completely different. What I'll do is I'll just open up. I have a little Vita case here. They're very small. If you can't see, I'm going to pop them out. Come on. There we go. They're very small little chips this time. And either way, you can go to this one has the PSN shop. You can link your account and do whatever. You can get trophies for all these games. But you can go to the shop and, you could go and buy the games digitally. But for me, I like collecting the games, and I know it sounds lame, and I like saving memory. So if you get the game at retail, you're saving yourself a lot of memory. I'm just putting that out there. And it gets even worse. I'm not gonna pull it out, but there's like memory cards that are like this small, and I kid you not, it's ridiculous. And they range anywhere from like a 4 gig to like a 32 gig, which is the 32 gig is like the price of a game. So it's kind of overwhelming. I stick to the smaller ones, but that's just me. But anyways. Now that I got the outside stuff kind of done, like I was saying before, there is a shop. You link your account via PSN, or you can make a new one depending on if you've done that stuff with PlayStation 3 or whatever, because obviously they can go back and forth. You can transfer content. You can put PlayStation 1 classics on this that are supported, and it looks really, really nice with the OLED screen. Probably one of the nicest screens I've ever seen on a handheld in the history of handhelds. And I was kidding, but then just ever since I've even started playing handhelds, I'm not even kidding. Like, the resolution is gorgeous. I geeked out over a screen. The main menu is basically what you're expecting. It's all orbs. It's all touch. The thing is like the touch is really really good, and I believe the 3DS has a gyroscope in there. So like when you move stuff, the thing it'll censor it. Their gyroscope, I guess I was thinking of Skype. The gyroscope in this thing, might actually be slightly better. I know that's a bold statement because I love the 3DS as well. But in this, the gyroscope is just, oh my god, it's like so damn accurate. It's a little uncanny. And the touch is pretty damn good, It's kind of even with the 3DSs. But I mean, it's again, for certain games it might be more polished. I don't know as time goes on how that's going to work. But the gyroscope in this is pretty damn awesome. And then if you haven't noticed, yeah, there's trophies like I was saying for most games. You can check everything, go online. You can get Skype. You can get YouTube. You can get it all. So it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, what are my complaints about this thing, right? Well, my first complaint is I can't get Nier to work. Nier is their way of street passing, if you will, like the 3DS. Whereas you can see people's games, you can get special goodies for seeing that stuff, because games will let you. This is kind of confusing. Games will let you pick between bonuses, if I'm not mistaken, and you'll be able to hand them out at will. I don't know. But in any case, it's there. I can't get it to work. And my other complaint, we'll talk about later on. But yeah, so far, pretty good handheld. I mean, I get the price point thing. I guess if you want to wait and you're hesitant, I would. That's what I did. I waited until Black Friday. But other than that, I really, 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 really like this handheld. It's awesome. It's a good console generation of handhelds. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, let's talk about a couple of things. So what do I have here for this puppy? Well, right now I currently have Little Big Planet Vita. I have Rayman Origins Vita, which I just started last night. Let's see if I can show the box. And I got Gravity Rush. And I got Mortal Kombat. I have it for PlayStation 3. My brother got me this for Christmas. Shoutouts to him. I gotta open it and check it out. So I'm not against a portable Mortal Kombat at all. I think that's really cool. But yeah, we're gonna review 2 games today. Okay, we're gonna do this a little different here. I went from reviewing the Vita to actually talking about games. It's a different transition. First game up that we're gonna talk about is Little Big Planet Vita. If you do not know this about me, I am a huge Little Big Planet fan. Oh, man, you can probably hear, I'm a huge this and that fan. This is the truth, though. I love Sackboy. I love the old school classic platformer vibe thing going on and how they're kind of tipping other older games. And it's great. The creation concept's really cool, too. This game is great. It's from a different team. I don't know offhand who it is, if it's Tartar Studios or Double 11, but they took Media Molecule's IP, Little Big Planet, and made it their own with their fresh new story, and it's great. It plays the same. You get all your costumes on there from the PlayStation games or whatever, and it's great. There's new costumes and stuff for this one, and it's the worlds are just great. You go from everything from like a junkyard, the jungle. Well, I guess there's a jungle, right? Haunted house, that kind of stuff. It's awesome. And you're fighting this villain named the Puppeteer, and he's taking over with these like mannequin doll things. It's pretty neat. Everything aside, it looks like a Little Big Planet game. It plays just like it. Obviously now they're implementing touch features, and I think the touch features, even there's even gyroscope features work fantastic. I think that they really accent the game quite damn well, as alongside the story and everything. The creating part is kind of where I complain. Maybe I'm a dummy or I'm lazy or something, but when I booted up my game and it said you have 60-something tutorials, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Every tutorial that you do in any of the Little Big Planets accesses you new stuff. The problem with that is that it's just a long, tired-out thing that I'm getting so sick of seeing in these games. You shouldn't force 60-something tutorials on a player when they just want to create. If they want to watch a tutorial, give them the option to do so. If I were them, I would have just given everything on start. But instead, you have to hear the British announcer guy, narrator. He's cool, but he's just like, oh, Sackboy, put the sound thing on the wall, and Sackboy will dance, and then it's just, Ugh, I don't want to hear this 60-something times just to get new stuff. I want the stuff now. The other thing is, I find that the level creator could be a tad bit more up to date now, a little more easier to use. Maybe again, it's just me and it's the way I play, but I don't find their weird grid system, I don't know what it is, working. I think that you should be able to do a lot more with the cameras and be able to place and drop stuff easier. I think that there should be an easier way of doing it, because ever since Little Big Planet 2, they've kind of breaking the mold of side-scrollers so you can make your own games now. So I only think that they should update the creation, edit, whatever it is, level maker that much more. Maybe that's just my 2 cents. And the other thing is, okay, I'm gonna talk slow for this. So in Little Big Planet, since Sackboy is made out of sack, and since most of the game is physics oriented, that's basically what the game is. It's a physics demonstration practically. Sackboy had a very small flutter jump, which they fixed. I like that. But there is one other problem they did not fix, which is Sackboy's, for some reason they decided that Sackboy was going to be able to move his lower body, like his chest, and his head. So what happens is if you would click one of the analog sticks on the PlayStation, it would swap to one of them both, but you can't turn it off. Which means for this one, there's no clicky click on the controllers, so you're stuck with Sackboy looking like his head is just falling off the entire game. It is really, really, really fucking weird, and it's awkward, and they need to stop doing it or get rid of it or whatever. I don't know. They just got to get rid of it. I think that it is such a stupid idea to have your main character running around with his head like this, and even in the PlayStation, if you swapped it to body, it was just kind of like he was like spazzing out. I don't like that. They got to get rid of it. So I think that they just need to update the way to make a stage, and I think that they need to fix that Sackboy physics thing. I don't know what the hell that is. Get rid of it. Other than that, awesome game, great. I love it. I can't recommend it anymore. It's just go out and get it if you have a Vita. I think it's a must-have, especially if you're a fan of this franchise. And also, I think it's like $20 now, maybe a little more. It's not that much, so check it out. My last review, because I can't review Rayman right now, is Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush is, in my mind, the killer app for the Vita. My personal opinion here, I thought the 3DS's killer app was Kid Icarus, but that seems too controversial for people, so they usually go with a Mario or Zelda game or something. But anyways, this is to me the killer app of the Vita. I really think that this game is a gem. First off, the game is cel-shaded, and it's got an anime style. It's made by a Japan studio, and basically you're playing around in miniature, open, cel-shaded worlds with like this magnificent music, I guess, if you will, and all these whimsical characters, and you basically wake up with amnesia, and you're this girl named Kat, and basically you meet this cat, you name it Dusty, and he's kind of like this weird looking glowing star cat, and he gives you the ability to use gravity. So basically in these little tiny small worlds, you're flying around, you're bending gravity, you're moving everywhere. It's just like your playground, and you're constantly looking for things like collectibles and missions, and you basically do mini games to get these diamonds to upgrade your attacks and your abilities and your gravity stuff, or you can go fly around and find them, which is cool. And you can also talk to people in the towns, which is, fun for like an atmospheric kind of thing. And then there's the story missions. Now, basically, the general gist of the game is like you have to put these worlds back together, like hub worlds, if you will. And you have to fight these things called the Nevi, which are like these evil gravity monster things. And they're really freaky looking. I love it. And you basically have to beat the snot out of them. Then there's another gravity bender like you, gravity shifter, excuse me. Just like you, that you have to figure out about. Then there's all the bad guys, and it's nuts. It is seriously a delightful game to play. Then there's also like costumes for Cat, but I think most of them you can get through DLC packs with more missions and stuff. I think they're ranging from military to spy to stuff like that made. and it's just a great game. Like, I was seriously playing this and like saying to myself, like, wow, like how the hell did they get this on a handheld device? How did they get this running? It's a gorgeous game. Everything about it's pretty damn memorable, at least in my eyes. I really think this game is great, and everybody should definitely check it out. It is quite a hit, and if I'm not mistaken, if the rumors are true, I believe they're working on a sequel. So yeah, she's also showing up in PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. So she's a big deal now, Kat. This character, Kat. She's hysterical. Oh, and before I forget, there are cutscenes in the game, like any other game. Pretty cool. But there's also comic book cutscenes where you're reading the dialogue and you could shift around with the gyroscope and stuff and see, like, the other background images in the comics. It is fucking awesome. So, yeah, definitely check this game out. And, I think that, right now, in my opinion, the Vita and the 3DS are kind of at a stagnant standstill. While yes, maybe one of them is selling better than the other, I feel like if you're a big gamer like myself, you're beating games left and right, and thus there's not much left to play on them. So I just want this console generation to keep going, even if it's just whatever, just keep putting them out. Unless it's all shit, then that's not good, but just keep putting out more and more games. PlayStation Vita is pretty awesome. I think it's sweet. Games are sweet. I got these two, but I'm not reviewing them today. And definitely check it out. And that's it. Take it. Man, how many errors did I make in this video, Tom? Huh? I'm telling you, it's coffee. It's coffee. All right, anyways, peace.